Welcome to the Emotional Resilience Podcast. My name is Tyler Joe Stratton, and it is my mission to bring you back to life by guiding you through life's most difficult obstacles. Together, we'll explore how to master your emotions, build healthier relationships, and develop unbreakable resilience, all so that you can bounce back more quickly from setbacks with a greater level of confidence and strength. This is more than just a podcast. It's a lifeline and a supportive community where we come together to build and sustain the inner resilience needed to create a life of fulfillment, happiness, and success. So if you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or weighted down by stress, anxiety, or burnout, or perhaps you simply need to be reminded that you have whatever it takes to come back alive again, I need you to know this: you're not alone. I'm here to guide you and help you to rediscover the spark within. So let's take a deep breath. Your journey to emotional resilience starts now. What is up, my dear friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Emotional Resilience Podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about how you can control your emotions and how you can lead yourself before you lose yourself. This episode is going to help you understand 5 key areas in which you can begin to lead yourself rather than allowing your emotions to lead you and you say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, act in the wrong manner that leads you to an end result that you're not looking for, because most of the time our emotions are what move us into the directions in which we don't want to go. You see, emotion, my friend, is energy in motion. It's what triggers you to start acting accordingly. And so let me be honest with you real quick. Controlling your emotions is not about pretending you're fine when you're not. It's not about burying your anger under a fake smile. It's not even about spiritual bypassing or positive vibes only. It's actually about learning how to lead yourself when your world feels like it's falling apart. So if you feel like your world's falling apart and you want to restore the vitality and aliveness in your life, business, relationships, and overall well-being, then this episode's for you. And if you're anything like I was, you've had moments where your emotions hijacked your mouth, your mind, your momentum, and you ended up reacting in a way that you later on regretted. You over-explained, you lashed out, you shut down. You said yes when you meant no, you said nothing when you should have said something, not because you're weak, but because no one taught you how to regulate what you feel without repressing who you are. So today, good news is we're going to change that. So let's redefine something right now. Control is not suppression. Control is self-leadership. You don't control your emotions by ignoring them. You control them by listening to them before they explode and before they drive the car of your life off a cliff. Suppression is silence. Control is understanding. Know the difference, because suppression says, I can't feel this right now. Control says, I can feel this and I'll decide what to do with it once I feel it. Let me give you a quick example. So I had a conversation with a close friend a while ago. They said something that hit a nerve, kind of triggered me, maybe the old me. I would have snapped back, defended myself, tried to win the moment, but I took a deep breath, literally, a full inhale and exhale. I said, give me a second. I feel something rising and I don't want to project it onto you. And you know what? That pause didn't make me weak. It made me more powerful. It made me more clear. It gave me the space to respond, not to react. And this is what I call emotional maturity, or in other words, emotional authority. And that's what I want to help you to develop today. So here's one of the most underappreciated tools in emotional regulation: the pause. I call it the 4-second shift, because in 4 seconds, the time it takes to take a breath and ask a better question, you can stop a reaction from beginning to occur. You can stop a reaction from becoming a regret. So instead of, why is this happening to me? Ask the question, what's really going on inside of me? So instead of, they're trying to hurt me, ask the question, what's beginning to trigger inside of me? Because this isn't about blaming yourself. It's about owning your response to what they had to say. The pause gives your nervous system time to catch up to your values. It gives you your integrity. You get a fighting chance in the conversation. So let's go a little bit deeper. Why do emotions, what do they mean? Emotions to me are messengers, not the master. They're just messengers. Your emotions are messengers, but they're terrible masters. You see, I believe that fear isn't the enemy. Anger isn't the enemy. Even sadness has something sacred to say to you. The problem is that we obey emotions that we were only meant to learn from. You were never meant to be driven by your emotions. You were meant to be informed by them. Think of them like a little internal notification, like a text message from your heart. Anger says, a boundary was crossed today. Sadness says, you're holding on to something it's time to let go of. Anxiety says, there's a need for safety, structure, and clarity. Joy says, this is aligned. Do more of this. What if, instead of reacting to your emotions, you sat with them long enough to ask yourself, what are you here to teach me? That, my friend, is emotional mastery. Not perfection, not performance, just awareness and wise response. So give yourself the opportunity to practice the pause, right? And understand that emotions are messengers. They're not the master that's supposed to run your life. You're supposed to become aware of what you're feeling and ask yourself the question, what is this trying to teach me at this moment? Am I angry because a boundary was crossed? Am I sad because I'm holding on to something or someone that I know that it's time to let go of? Am I believing that I'm unsafe? There's no structure, there's no clarity of an end result. Or am I feeling aligned? You see, you just need to start asking yourself in the midst of the pause, what are you here to teach me? That's emotional mastery. Like I said, that's not perfection, not performance, just awareness and wise response. And when you want to start to build your emotional toolkit, which is what I talk a lot about in the Happy Heart Academy, which is how do you build an emotional toolkit? Well, here's where most personal development in my eyes goes wrong. They tell you to just breathe, just think more positively. But when you're in the heat of it, when your chest is tight, your fists are clenched, and your mind is racing, you need more than a damn mantra. You need a toolkit. And here's what I keep in mind and what I oftentimes teach my coaching clients inside the Happy Heart Academy. Number one, the check-in. You've got to ask yourself, what am I feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? Can you locate the feeling? Close your eyes and ask yourself, what am I actually feeling? And where do I feel it in my body? Then I inform them to do the reframe. Can I see this from a more empowering lens? Can I turn this pessimistic idea into an optimistic idea? Then I move into the reset. Take a walk, change your environment, move your physiology, move your body. Or perhaps, like we used to do to kids, is put them in timeout. Because it's okay to say, I just need a moment before I respond. This is a lot for me to grasp. And finally, the anchor, a grounding thought, verse, or affirmation. Mine is, I am safe to feel, I am strong enough to lead, I can overcome what it is I'm going through. And so you don't need to rise in moments of stress by accident. You rise because you practice before the pressure hit. You see, the toolkit that I often inform that has helped me quite a bit. And listen, common sense isn't always common practice. Just because I'm telling you to do this doesn't mean that many of you are going to sit down and write this out and actually try one, if not all 5 of these things. You want emotional mastery, you want emotional regulation, but you're not willing to put in the exact toolkit and or work to act that will actually help you to overcome the emotional experience that you're having that's keeping you stuck, stressed out, overwhelmed, anxious, nervous, scared, fearful, you name it. So once again, it's just check in with yourself by asking yourself, what am I feeling? Then you got to reframe it. It's like, can I see this in a more empowering lens? And then once again, go for a quick reset of a walk, maybe change your environment, maybe move your body, get out of your head and into your body. Then you take a quick time out, and it's okay to say, I need a moment before I respond. That's cool. That's kind of, empowering to myself. If I'm like, okay, this is becoming too heated, I need to just take a moment. And sometimes a pause or a deep breath is not all that you need. You actually need to get outside. And then finally ground myself to the outcome that I'm looking for. Like, why am I in this moment? Well, because this is the outcome that I'm looking for. And how can I restructure my verbiage in a way that brings more clarity and direction in that conversation? So my friends, the final thought that I want to share with you today in regards to controlling your emotions is your emotions don't define you. Your response does. One of the greatest lies we've ever been sold is this: I can't help it, that's just how I feel. But here's the truth. You are not your emotions. You are the one who observes your emotions. So that means that you are not your anger. You are the one that's the awareness behind the anger, the one that is feeling the anger. You are not your sadness. That is not your identity. You're the one experiencing sadness. So when you remember this, you reclaim your power, because the real test of strength isn't what you feel, it's how you respond to what you feel. It's not emotional strength to never get triggered, it's emotional strength to get triggered and still choose integrity. So here's what I want to leave you with today. You're going to feel a lot of things in this life: pain, passion, disappointment, rage, joy, confusion, love. But how you handle your emotions will determine the quality of your life, your relationships, your leadership, and your peace. So next time your emotions come rushing in, my friends, don't suppress them, don't obey them, learn from them. And above all else, lead yourself before you lose yourself, because your peace is worth protecting, your integrity is worth preserving, and your emotional resilience is what will carry you through every storm you face in this life. Thank you for joining me on the podcast today. I hope today's episode has given you the tools, insights, and encouragement to rise, rebuild, and thrive in your own life. And if you're ready to take your journey even further, I invite you to join the Happy Heart Academy Inner Circle by going to happyheartacademy.com. This is where we go deeper together, offering personalized support, connection, and community, and also the resources you need to truly get unstuck and transform your life. Your feedback means the world to me. So if this podcast has been helpful, supportive, encouraging, and or uplifting, please take a moment to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the podcast at. For your review does not only help me to improve, but it also helps others to discover this message of hope and resilience. And together, we can spread the message that no one has to face life's challenges alone. Remember, you're stronger than you think, and your comeback story is just beginning. Let's keep rising, rebuilding, and thriving together.